Hey you guys. This is the Chop Block podcast, and this is a special bonus episode because we ran our mouths about everything on episode 15, but the shit that we were supposed to talk about. So welcome to episode 15.5 of the Chop Block podcast. I am Ty St. Boogie.
And I am Scissor 215.
And for those of you who are unfamiliar, this show is the iteration of two things that we produce on these Instawebs, internets, whatever you want to call them. One is the credit check, which is the most comprehensive listing of album credits you will find on the internet. Because we're not just telling you the producers, we're going to tell you as much information as we can find about every single record on every single album that is released, as long as that information is available to us. So if somebody hit a damn triangle one time on track 10 and we can find that person's name, they name going in the credits.
Got him.
The other thing that we do sometimes, we've been slacking of late, is the chopping block, where we break down albums track by track and give you a multifaceted review of each album that comes out every week. Our team and Ciz, led by Ciz, they stay up late as fuck on Thursday nights and go through and find all these credits and make them available for you guys. And then for years to come, every time somebody questions Cardi B's ability to write her own records, they do a little search on her album. It brings them to our website. So
we get a nice little comment.
Somebody cusses us out about some shit that has nothing to do with us.
She don't even write her own records.
Right. First of all, Mariah can't know. Was it Mariah that they were talking about the other day that writes all of her songs?
Okay. That was Mariah. Mm-hmm.
Sure, guys. All right. So on episode 15, we talked to you guys, in case you haven't listened to that one yet, and you want to go back. We discussed the RZA versus DJ Premier battle. And that's why we couldn't get to the rest of our show. That's really what it was. It was
that one got a little spirited. We did about an hour on that.
But they deserve it. They deserve it. We gave y'all some current events, things that are going on in the world of music, things that have been canceled, announced, and so on and so forth. And so now, without further ado, we will take it to this week, last week's new releases. Starting with my cousins from there, Cardinal Official, Drake. My sixth favorite Canadian? I think Tory Lanez is like 6. I think so.
Let me think. Yeah. You better than me for that one.
I mean, he would have been higher up, but like my cousin is Canadian. He's my favorite cousin. So like he pretty much got 2 spots by himself. Anyway.
What about Celine Dion?
No, she's not up there like that. Not for me. I'm trying to think if there's another Canadian that I like more. I really think it's my cousin, then it's Cardi. Cardinal Official, not Cardi B or whatever other Cardi, Playboy Cardi. No, Cardinal Official. That's my other favorite. Oh, and then Jessie Reyez, y'all. Do you just put me on to the fact Jessie Reyez? Yes, Bieber. No, yeah, sorry.
What about Jim Carrey?
Might be tied for 6 with Tory Lanez.
I got a whole list. Michael J. Fox is Canadian, and
shit, you're not. Look, Tory Lanez dropped an album, you guys.
Keanu Reeves is Canadian.
Who?
William Shatner is Canadian.
Oh shit. Okay.
Avril Lavigne, I miss her.
Aw, Avril Lavigne. All right, so Tory Lanez dropped an album. It's called The New Toronto 3. I clearly missed 1 and 2.
I think we all.
Did you miss 1 and 2 as well?
I didn't know there was a 1 or 2. I know somebody from Toronto who didn't know there was 1 or 2.
The New Toronto 3 is really long. 16 tracks.
16 full tracks.
No intros. Oh, that just reminded me what happened to me and Tory Lanez. It was, I discovered Tory Lanez He gave me songs that I loved. At the very top of that list was the Snake Ships joint, Dimelo, which is still one of my favorite records ever. Then he dropped an album and there was a skit on every song, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was it for me. So anyway, he's back. This is 16 whole actual songs. I'm gonna let you talk about the production before we talk about how I felt about it.
I'm mad that I didn't know Jim Carrey was from Canada.
Really? See, I knew that.
All these damn Canadians.
All these damn Canadians. All
I
right.
did a conversation with. Do you remember Eternia?
Yes.
Yeah, she was Canadian too. A lot of Canadians infiltrate.
Wait, 40 gotta probably beat Tory Lanez. 40 gotta be tied with Drake somewhere too.
Listen, I'm gonna put Boy Wonder up there for me. I got a list. Tory, you're good with me. If you make my top 50, you're cool.
All right, so talk to us about this album.
Yeah, so it's a lot of Tory rapping, which I like, man. I'm a fan of Tory's bars. He did some co-production on this. It's a lot of Play Picasso on here, a lot of 9-3. You got Super Mario, got Monster, Hayes, BNN, Don Cannon came to the party. So he's got some really high energy joints. Papier, Cassius J from out here in the A. I don't know if he's out here in the A, but he lives out here in the A.
Mm-hmm.
Hoop the Truth. Yeah, Play Picasso's all over this joint. Ambience, Cherry Beats. It's got some vibes on it. Like I said, I really A-rap music on this joint, but I really enjoy that he took a rapper's direction on a lot of these records. Also, shout out to Foreign Tech. He's on this joint. iStandard alum. He did 2 joints on here too. And big shout to Johan Chavez on the engineering tip. He also mixed it, and Chris Garinger mastering the project. So, yeah. I always smile when I see iStandard producers in
Absolutely.
credits. It warms my heart.
Absolutely. It reminds us why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Some days we need those reminders more than others. Yeah, I wasn't a fan. So last week, for those of you who don't know, I work for a very mainstream website, right? Somebody from one of the writers at one of my writers wrote an article about something that happened on Tory Lanez's live, and he referred to Tory Lanez as a rapper, and I was like, really? Is that really where we classify him? And so I did a Google search, and sure enough, Google said rapper, and then like I told y'all last week, I figured that while Al Gore's internet might think he was a rapper, that I wanted to verify what Al Green's internet thought. And everybody was like, yeah, no, he's a rapper. And this week we found out that I would much rather listen to him sing or do that little reggae-y thing that he be doing sometimes.
See, I'm the opposite. Sometimes we do that.
So I listened to the new Toronto 3 on the day that it came out, and I'm going to pull up our team Slack so I could see exactly the moment when I was like, yeah, guys, I don't think this is for me. I think it was track 3.
It happens.
And I think that my issue with it was just it sounded very repetitive to me. Like it really just there was not enough variety. The flow was very similar. The beats were very similar. Yeah, I said 4 songs in and I'm already over this album. And right now, as I'm sitting here telling y'all, like even looking at the track list, there isn't a single song on this album that I actually remember actually having listened to. Maybe Who Needs Love. I remember that one.
I only gave it one listen, so I can't really say,
But you know what? Y'all love Tory Lanez. Y'all loved him before I knew who he was or how to say his name, and y'all will continue to love him. And I will continue to appreciate his random appearances on people's reggae records. So It's fine. He said that this was his last project on his label, which is Interscope. This was his last project that he had to deliver for Interscope. When he tweeted that or posted out on Instagram, I can't remember which one it was. He also said that that meant that he could now start making the kind of music that he wants to make. So we'll see what that means for young Tory Lanez, our top 20 Canadian.
Top 38. I mean, sometimes artists put out a body of work just to get out their contract too. So we'll see. I mean, let's see what Tory Lane's doing. Tory Lane sounds like now that he's independent.
So we had an anomaly this week in that Currency dropped the project. We actually have credits.
So the funny part is, Currency dropped the project and it was fully produced by one person.
Oh, and it was only 5 songs.
And we don't really have credits. It's really just us putting Cardo every time.
Well, shit. Shouts to Cardo Got Wings then. On to the next one. Shouts to Cardo Got Wings. And shouts to artists who give all of the people involved in their projects their full credits and allow them to shine. Now, there was also a new project dropped by the Strokes. Last week was light. We told you guys that going into the week that it was going to be light. There were a couple random mixtapes and EPs that came out. The Strokes dropped the problem called The New Abnormal. I feel like the Strokes haven't dropped anything in a really long time.
It's been a while.
And this project is fully produced by Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin.
What?
Mm-hmm. Now you might have to listen to it.
Have you seen an interview or anything about how this even happened?
No, it was quiet. I mean, I didn't see any kind of lead up. Generally when it's somebody like Rick and the Strokes, the bigger publications will pick it up, but I really didn't catch it.
Fuck you, Corona. We should know this story. I don't even understand how this happens. Bruh, let me explain to y'all the discography of the Strokes right quick. If the internet would let me be great, which it apparently won't. But I don't think these guys have dropped anything in at least 15 years. Is that right? No, I'm a liar. It's been 7 years. So they dropped the project in 2011, they dropped one in 2013, and then they dropped this new one, The New Abnormal.
So it's been 7 years. It's been a while.
Apparently, let's see. So Albert Hammond, who is the father of the band's guitarist Albert Hammond Jr., told the West Australian, because they're a group from Australia, that the Strokes were working with Rick Rubin. That's the only person that seems to have said that shit anywhere. And then to which the guitarist went on Twitter and said that they were only presenting musical ideas to Rick Rubin. They were not recording anything. But obviously, they went to LA to Rick Rubin's Shangri-La studio in Malibu, and that's where they recorded the whole thing. And Rick Rubin produced the whole thing, and nobody's talking about it. What?
Yeah. No, nobody's really talking about it.
All right. Well, you guys, I'm going to listen to it, and then we're going to talk about it next week because, wow. All right. Okay, I'm done fangirling. Speaking of one producer projects, N.O.R.E dropped an EP last week. Well, technically not one producer. Yeah, 2 producers. See, you lied to me. You said we put this on the site. It's not up here.
I did listen to it. Well, I listened to the first couple tracks.
All right, so we'll have to get to that.
The first track I really liked a lot. The production's great. I mean, it's the Justice League. And N.O.R.E is comfortable N.O.R.E. He's not trying to do too much N.O.R.E. It's like N.O.R.E dad raps.
N.O.R.E dad raps. Super thug in the carpool lane.
Facts.
It's 5 tracks. It's called Patio Furniture. The album cover is a little kid in a oversized Versace shirt with 2 bottles of Ace of Spade and some weed and some money, overlooking the ocean and sunset with something smoking in his hand that could either be a blunt or a gun. 5 songs produced by Justice League, as we mentioned. One of these songs features RL, as in RL from Next. And then there's another song called My City, parentheses, New York, featuring Raekwon, Davies, and is it Imani or Emani?
I'm gonna go Emily.
It's Emani. And he's somehow affiliated to Justice League, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't ever see him on things that Justice League is not a part of. So yeah. There was that, and then there was 24 Hours and DJ Drama dropped the project, which I don't think they're calling these things Gangster Girls anymore, but they might be.
I don't know. So Emily is he's done a lot of stuff with Joe Button.
Oh, that's where I know him from. Okay,
A
cool.
lot of stuff with Joe Button.
So I said to Ciz that 24 Hours was dropping the project with Drama, and Ciz said that he did not know who 24 Hours was.
No.
Um, and I had to remind him that before he was 24 Hours, aka the rapper known as Made in Tokyo's brother, he was Royce Rizzy. And Royce Rizzy was once signed to So So Def. And at one point, he was signed to Lil Scrappy's label, and he was a rapper, like a rapper. And then he figured out that being a harmonizing rap crooner was working better for his life. He put a song out called, why do I keep forgetting the name of the song? Back in 2017, he had a song out called, where is it? Why do I keep missing it? What You Like? That was like his little hit record or whatever. So that's who that is. So if you're into that type of stuff, it's called 12 a.m. in Atlanta. It is a 16 track long project. The last track is called Curtis Snow. I feel like that tells us everything we need to know about that project. So yeah, we don't usually do 2-part shows, but sometimes we do, and we have multiple segments in our show regardless. And anytime that we switch from one topic to the next is an opportunity during which we could be promoting your project or product or services or wares, aka give us money and we will give you promo. Right, Tiz?
That's correct.
So if you guys have something that you're trying to get out to the public, that you're trying to raise awareness about, you can email the chopblockpod@gmail.com and we will hook you up.
We got you.
I just found Tory Lanez on Instagram with Lil Mo's and Little Mo and Little Mo's son singing on his live. Tory Lane's Instagram live during Corona is the best thing that's happened in his whole entire career.
That's interesting.
Is that bad?
No, it's just I mean, he's always had a personality, so it's a good opportunity for his personality to shine. Is D Nice on? Is he DJing right now?
Probably.
Somebody cloned D Nice. I don't believe D Nice is still alive. I believe that somebody. Yeah,
No. Well, what D Nice has been doing is he's been tapping out here and there. He is actually live right now. What he's been doing is that he'll tap out every so often and he'll tag another DJ in. So he is currently live. It is the after dark portion of Quarantine Radio, which he has trademarked, and he has 17.1 thousand people tuned in.
literally a radio station.
A one-man radio station. Last night he tagged in B Cox. Last night I looked at Instagram at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just as many people on live at 3 o'clock in the morning as there are right now. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to bed. Anyway, so a lot of new music dropped between the last time we were together and now. I Where should we start? Should we start with the absurd?
Let's do it.
What was more absurd? Is it the fact that the Black Eyed Peas dropped the song in 2020? Or is it the fact that RMR can actually fucking sing And had his people not guided him towards this damn gimmick, y'all would be fucking with him right now.
It's the Black Eyed Peas for
Okay,
sure.
cool. Let's go there first. So Black Eyed Peas have a new song called Mamacita, which is a very, I feel like they've done this on a, it was called Hey Mama. Is this like all
It's
of
very,
them?
uh, who's left in the Black Eyed Peas?
Will I Am, Apple D App. What's the other one saying? Taboo?
Is that the Native American looking dude?
Yes. And Stacey Ferguson from Kids Incorporated.
She is Stacey Ferguson from Kids Incorporated.
Yes. We've never talked about how obsessed I used to be with her braids.
I love that show so much more than the Mickey Mouse Club.
Listen, Stacey from Kids Incorporated was my first girl
Kids
crush.
Incorporated. K-I-D-S. Yeah. Sorry, I had a moment.
Looks like we made it. Okay, sorry. Yes, I see looks like Stacey Ferguson all up in this video. So I'm gonna say that she's still in the group.
Good to hear.
Let's look on one of these DSPs and see what the credits say. So the song is called Mamacita, as I said, and so they had to go find some hot Latin artists to join them on here, and they tagged Ozuna.
Yep.
Oh no, wait, psych, my bad. They just found a Fergie alike.
What?
It's Jessica Reynoso.
Oh, so that's who Jay Reynoso is. Gotcha.
Oh no, that's J Ray Soul. So maybe no, maybe not. Hold on. I'm confused, y'all. Okay, let's talk about what the song sound like. Because right now, I am very, very baffled. What did the song sound like to you?
It sounded like that last night I dreamed of.
La Isla Bonita by Madonna, back when cultural appropriation was okay.
Right. Because the Spanish lady probably wrote the record for Madonna.
That was a whole entire bop. La Isla Bonita was a whole entire bop. Still is a whole entire bop. So it sounds like they kind of interpolated a little bit of it. It didn't sound like we needed more than the hook and the one verse, whoever went first, which was Ozuna, right?
I thought that was Will I Am in some form of Spanish.
Oh, Jesus. So apparently the answer to the question as to whether Fergie is still a part of Black Eyed Peas is a no.
I think the last time I saw them together was like maybe like the Champions League or the World Cup like a couple years ago.
But when you look on their Wikipedia, that's what it says. It says Will I Am, Apple D App, Taboo, and J Ray Soul, aka Jessica Reynoso. Lord. Oh, Black Eyed Peas. Okay. CeeLo dropped a new song. It's what was it called? Lead Me?
It's called Lead Me. Lead Me Out of the Darkness.
Lead Me sounds to me like the big gospel power ballad aha moment from a movie in the 80s. Like remember when Disney redid Pollyanna with Keisha Knight Pulliam and Felicia Rashad?
Yeah, and it was terrible.
Shut your face. It was not. It was amazing. Okay, sorry. It sounds like the big aha moment reveal off of one of those straight to Netflix. I was going to say DVD, but straight to Netflix movies that's going to star a C-list R&B singer and some gospel folks that you don't know if you're a heathen like myself.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a gospel song or if it was just in the style of a gospel song.
It was a
It
song
just,
about hope.
yeah, I guess. It might have been about a girl named Hope. I don't know.
But I will say this, as interesting as the tone of CeeLo's voice is at the beginning of that song, it sounds to me like the baritone of old school like R&B groups. Like if you know Jay-Z's song Some People Hate, the very beginning of that song, I'm not going to sing it for you guys now, but it does show you the range of CeeLo's voice because it took a couple seconds for me to realize that was actually him singing.
Oh yeah, I mean, vocally, he's at the top of his game. It sounds great. I mean, it's a good record. I just was taken aback because, CeeLo goes all over the place, and he can, and it's just not what I thought it was going to be when I pressed play.
All right, which brings us to RMR. You guys, for those of you who are like, who is RMR? It was that question that we were asking so fervently in mid-February. Was it mid-February?
I think so. Timey-wimey's wobbly right now. But yeah, I believe so.
So back in February, there was this whole thing on the internet where this guy had dropped this clip where he was singing a Rascal Flatts song. Was it a Rascal Flatts song?
It was a Rascal Flatts song. Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself for remembering that. And it was him and his niggas standing looking like every bit of the background performers, extras in Amigos video, ski masks and extendos and all that fun stuff, but singing Rascal Flatts. And two extremely fascinating and extremely disappointing things happened. The first is that every music site tripped over themselves to be the first ones to coin the phrase. What did they end up calling it?
Country trap ballad.
Just because a hood nigga was singing a country song.
Because it was clearly still the same exact song in the same exact style. There was nothing trap about it. There was no 808. There was nothing, but it was black people with guns and ski masks.
That automatically made the song trap. The second fascinating and disappointing thing that happened is that the clip that he posted went viral. And he had zero retention from that. We sat there and watched this record as a case study and just watched that clip get like 10, 15, 20,000 likes, retweets, whatever. And RMR, which apparently we found out by accident from Timbaland, stands for rumor, right? I think that's what Timbaland said.
I believe so as well.
He was sitting there with a smooth like 3,000 followers on Twitter. He eventually made it to like 10,000 on Instagram, and nothing was done to capitalize off of that very carefully crafted viral moment. And the reason why I tell you that it was very carefully crafted is because the first site that picked up his video is a site that actually offers promotion services for a fee, so you can pay to have it placed. Now they do vet the music; they won't just post anything, but you paid to be on it, and then they'll send out to other people. And as soon as that little clip on Twitter went viral, then his publicist started reaching out to people saying, "Oh my God, this song is going viral! It's so crazy! You should post it too." Here we stand, 6 weeks in a pandemic later, and none of y'all give a single solitary fuck about RMR.
Not at all. And then he just came back out of nowhere with a new song.
Well, I might be wrong. The new song is called Dealer. It came out on, I think, Thursday of last week. And the little clip for that has like 55,000 views on Instagram. He's now up to 58,000 followers. So,
It's viral-ish, but it should be more. And I think it'll end up being more because he's a talented dude. And this record shows a lot more of that. I got a shout out my little brother, Ism Beats, who produced this joint. He gave me the heads up that something was coming, and this was it. iStandard alumni also from Raleigh, North Carolina. But yeah, I mean, this joint is dope. It still got a little bit of a twang to it. This is more in the realm of country trap than that last thing, but it's a dope record. I just hope there's a consistency now. I saw him. I think he might have signed a deal of some sorts, or he was at a record label, or you probably check his Instagram and see what's going on. But yeah, he's here to stay. So
interestingly enough, I now finally found the damn whole entire lineup for the digital fader for it because he was on it.
he was, yep, and nobody really knew happened.
Oh man, Ari Lennox and JID were on here.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Okay. Sorry. We have y'all should know if you've listened to the last couple of shows that we are very fascinated by this online fader for it that happened, but nobody knew it happened. Rumor, I feel like should be a bigger deal because he's Timbaland affiliated and he's actually really, really talented. But what happened, Ciz? What happened?
I don't know. They just, for one, he started out as gimmick. For two, he started out singing somebody else's song without their permission. So um, there was some snafu, and you could do covers. Covers are okay, but you know, I don't know. It was the gimmick, and now it's like, can we get past the gimmick and take you seriously for your music? So we'll see.
If somebody played y'all that new RMR record dealer, if you didn't know who it was and they just played it for you, it's more than decent.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see what it does. Elsewhere, we're still continuing this hit parade of old niggas with new music. We told you N.O.R.E just dropped the whole entire project. Snoop dropped a new song that we checked out.
Oh my, you gotta watch the video.
I think he just dropped the. Well, I mean, I'm sure that he dropped the song too, but he dropped the video at the same time, right? And who else did we see on here? Why am I blanking on this man's name? E40 got a new record out. 50 got a new record out that we didn't get a chance to check out called "Trying to Fuck Me Over" featuring Post Malone. Well, it says video. I don't pay attention to Curtis Jackson's antics enough to know if it's new music or if it's just a new video. Too Short. Too Short has a new record out called Pull Up featuring Trader Truth. I don't know where or why Machine Gun Kelly is doing new music. Like
That's a rock.
those two are two separate statements, by the way. But yeah, Asher Roth out here for a second week in a row, right?
Back at it. Yep. Maybe he's got a project coming.
Asher's like back. Kid Cudi. Well, Cudi dropped the project 2 years ago. Right? Was that 2 years? Or was it 3?
I think so. How long has Kidding been around?
A very long time. And Kidding has been around for a really, really long time. And I think somewhere between his name and maybe his style of music, he just is not catching. Like he's not catching, but he's not going away either.
Because I feel like he was supposed to take Tiger's spot, and Tiger just never left.
Tiger left and came back.
Yeah, but you know, every year Tiger kind of catches one, and like Kidding is dope. Like he's super solid, but it's just what he makes is like another version of what somebody else makes. You know, and on that LA rap scene, it was always kind of Tiger in his way, I felt like.
I am really racking my brain to think of a Kid Ink record. And I feel like every Kid Ink record that I could think of, I thought was probably somebody else's song. Like Be Real, I don't think of, I mean, it's obviously his song. He's on rapping on all the verses. But when I think of Be Real, I think of Dej Loaf. And he has a bunch of like, records that charted between 2013 and 2017. It's been a little bit less of a sound or less hits since 2017. Actually, no, my bad. Since 2015, we had a song with with Fetty Wap called "Promise" that went platinum. Can you think of what that record sounds like right now?
I have no idea what that record sounds like right now.
But he's back. He has a new record called "Just Chill." Y'all should go check that out because obviously people love him somewhere. And who else? French Montana got some new shit out. Trouble got some new shit out. What we actually checked out.
So Leon Bridges came with a bop called Inside Friend, and it's all about a chick coming to see him. I hope he's not doing that right now, Leon, because you know it's COVID-19. and you should not be having strange women come into your apartment or whatever. That's what it's about, and it's a good record, like in that lane, you know. And John Mayer's on there, probably playing guitar or something.
Is that all he's doing?
I didn't hear him singing, unless John Mayer sounds like Leon Bridges. That's a very interesting question. Let me check the lyrics real quick. So he's singing along with him on the chorus. There you go. Okay, he's on the third verse. John Mayer, you can slide across my kitchen floor and tell me goodbye, and just see yourself right out my door. Come back through when you want to. If you do, never call me anymore. That's what inside friends are for. We need to get Doja Cat to redo these lyrics no, we need her to just say the lyrics like she said the box in old English. Did you see that?
No.
She had, yes, like a night, like she was about to go joust with somebody. And she recited the words to the box in the King's Old English.
Oh my God, I do need to go look at that. I enjoy Doja Cat so much. I also, John Mayer is my problematic bae. Yeah.
I gotta go listen again because now I know that was John Mayer singing.
So now we gotta go back and listen all the way. I didn't listen all the way to the end because we were rushing to try to do this. But
I listened to it like 3-4 times before that. Like it's been playing around the house, so I'll check it out again. But John Mayer is that good.
While we're over here in this R&B lane, the person I wish Tory Lanez really was, Bryson Tiller. Y'all gotta stop because it's just gotta stop. Bryson Tiller dropped a new joint. It's called "Slept on You," produced by NES, and it's very much Bryson Tiller is the guy that is like just outside of the friend zone.
He lives there forever.
He's just outside. He's right outside. He's right outside. Like if he calls you on the right day, something might pop off, but not quite boyfriend material. And he sings to try to sing his way out of the friend zone permanently.
And he's really singing, and I appreciate that. He's always singing. He's always singing in that, traditional R&B, talking to the ladies way. That's Bryson Tiller. I thought the joint was dope, so I'll be adding that to my playlist.
Except for "Sorry Not Sorry," in which case he went full on savage on you hoes, and I enjoy that song very much as well. Let's see, elsewhere in R&B, who else did we have that was R&B? I'm trying to save this division record for the last on the R&B ones because I have many things to say about this division record. What other R&B shit did we have?
Out too, so it's best to save that for the end.
Mm-hmm.
They're dropping an album tomorrow.
Yes.
So we got this wasn't really. Oh yeah, how we forget that?
Because it was a very forgettable record.
Terrible.
Am I though, Ciz? Look, maybe it's because Lil Jon hyped us up about
it. I like the record. I mean, it's not their previous record, but I think once I caught the groove of this record, I enjoyed it. So
did what?
Once I caught the groove of the record, like, because I was confused. Like, what are y'all talking about? So maybe that threw it off for me. But then once I like understood what they were saying, then I was like, oh, okay. Because it's like it's a weird premise. You're talking about sex, but you're talking about like a beat at the same time.
So Luda didn't sound like Luda.
To Tai.
The beat. Whatever. The song ain't for me, y'all. And it's and I think the underlying theme of this show is that everything ain't for everybody, and that's okay. But
and sometimes you can trash things if you don't like them, and that's fine too.
I really was very excited about this record, and I was very underwhelmed. That's just where my life went with it. I think that's
we also got so that this wasn't really. I mean, it's like a rapper R&B record, but it was Buddy and Kent Jams, and I have never heard of Kent Jams before, but I think it's a really good record. So I would tell folks to go check out that new Buddy and Kent Jams record. We kept wanting to call him Kent something else, but
because there's a Kent Jones
right,
from Florida.
right, yeah, but
So
yeah,
Jams is part of a group called Overdose. It's him
oh,
and June, Joon, and that's all I know about him.
and it's called She Think, and it's from an album apparently. Whose album is it? Wait, what? What happened? Somebody
It's,
put out an album?
is it on Buddy's album?
Oh, it's not an album. They just listed the single as an album.
Mm.
But it says Jank. Oh wait, what's today? It's coming out on Friday. Coming out
Oh,
tomorrow. It's called Jank Tape, and it's Buddy and Kent Jams, and the cover is them in the style of Beavis and Butthead, sitting on the couch. Yeah,
and that alone will make me listen.
yep. I'm so good artwork will do it.
Good artwork and a good lead single because I enjoyed the little. I enjoyed the little bop that they gave us. She think, which I think like the hook goes into she thinks she likes me or something like that. All right. And then Division is getting ready to drop his project and he released that track list last week. And then along with the track list, he gave us two records, which was Dangerous City featuring Ty Dolla $ign and Buju Banton. And I want to say the other record was featuring her. Let me see. But while I'm trying to figure this out, let me see. What was the other song? We
I
could
got
talk
you.
about this. We could talk about this Dangerous City record though, because y'all may not know that Ty Dolla $ign is like one of my favorites, and I really can't even quantify it. I don't seek out Ty Dolla $ign music, but every time Ty Dolla $ign appears on somebody else's shit, I am here for it and excited and never disappointed. You hear that, Usher? Never disappointed.
So the last single was with Snow Allegra.
Okay, Snow Allegra. Yeah, same sad girl with a beautiful voice vibe. That one was called Between Us. No. He dropped the one with Snow Allegra in January. There was another record that he dropped last week.
No, so no. So the first single was Miss Me, and then In Between. And the second single was No Crying with Future. Third single was Muse. The fourth single, Between Us, was released on March 19th, 2020 with Allegra. Yeah.
Okay. Well, people don't know how to write on these websites. My bad.
See, we're trying to get information from these sources, and it's just like there's so many unreliable sources.
We're just gonna have to figure out a way to
just send us stuff, okay? Just send it directly to us,
please. Anyway, this new joint, Division, Ty Dolla $ign, Buju Banton. When they get to Buju's part, the beat does this interesting, hey, let's go to Jamaica thing. Y'all
nice.
know.
Yeah.
Y'all know how much I enjoy and and relish being a West Indian child. So you give me Buju, who, whew, and then you give me a little reggae sounding beat, produced by obviously 1985, who is the production side of Division. Yes.
Yep, along with Robin Hannibal and Noah Breakfast.
So y'all go listen to that. I'm really excited about this project just off of that single. Cause he released the track list too. And like the track list, like, yeah, he went deep and got some really, really impressive guest appearances on here. Or they. I always say he because when you go to a show and you see Division performing live, you only see one person.
Right. Because
The other
the guy's technically a producer. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just looks like, the DJ that's there with the singer. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all right. So that was all of our R&B joints. On the hip hop side, as we mentioned, Asher Roth is back. We finally figured out who Fredo Bang was.
We did.
And that is Boosie Badass's, I'm assuming, little cousin?
Yeah, because I was on one of their websites, and they apparently somebody thought they had beef, but Boosie said, "Ain't no beef. That's my little cousin." So,
and he didn't say play, so that means that he actually is, in fact, a relative. I'm assuming. Lord Jesus. Anyway, so he jumped in a joint called Saucy, which I enjoyed. It felt very familiar, but not in a bad way. I could do it. What else did we check out? IDK has a song called In My White Tee, and it sounds like, it sounds like what you think it sounds like a little bit.
Yep, in my white tee. Yep, in my white tee.
Well, that was funny. We enjoyed that one as well. And then we started kind of hopping around and seeing what else was worth us discussing with you guys. And what did we land on? We landed on that Snoop Dogg record that we talked to you about. Oh, and two of my faves from Atlanta, Deontay Hitchcock and JID, who Ciz said Deontay Hitchcock sounded very much like T.I. on this record.
Big, big, big Tip influence, and that's cool.
I mean, but that's kind of what you want, right? When you have, when Tip came out, it was like kind of the second wave, which the first wave was incomplete. The first wave was all Dungeon Family, when people realized that people in Atlanta had lyrics. And then Tip came, and Tip had lyrics. And out of his class of Atlanta artists, between him and Jeezy, and I guess we'll put Luda in that same class, technically, even though they're 2 years apart.
Yeah, he was there a little bit.
Yeah, like, Luda was lyrical in a completely different way than what Tip was. And so, Tip was giving you street shit, but with lyrics. And so, yeah, it's absolutely normal that you're going to now, 15 years after Tip's debut album, almost 20 years after Tip's debut album, that you would have a Deontay Hitchcock who was carrying that baton. I like Deontay. I enjoy him very much. And
it's a good record. Good record.
Y'all know Jid is my little cousin in my head, so we couldn't go wrong with that one. We talked about Kid Cudi having a record. Did we talk about the
record? It's a record. It's he's going in. Like, it's not. I like the record for the most part. I didn't get to listen to it all the way through, but I was surprised because he's rapping kind of at first, and he's like talking about his influence on a lot of these new artists.
So he's out of his weirdo bag.
No. I don't think Kid Cudi can get out of his weirdo bag, but the song's basically about his influence on this generation, his connection to them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a pretty cool record.
It's called Leader of the Delinquents, produced by Dr. Genius.
I'll tell you, a joint that he dropped two, but I only listened to one of them, was Machine Gun Kelly. Well, the one I did get to check out was Pretty Toxic Revolver. And this kid is super talented. Like, he acts, he's got a good singing voice. Like, on this track, he's kind of like in a rock style singing the hook. It's a pretty funny video because he shot it with he got his microphone outside on his balcony. So you can see he's on the balcony, but it also is one of those split videos. So it's like him singing those new social media videos where the person singing with yourself, like the Voicey app. Mm-hmm. But no, it's a really, really good record. Machine Gun Kelly is a super solid artist. He just, doesn't have a place. And it's kind of about him not having a place and not being respected, but him putting in the work and all kinds of stuff. So it's worth a spin. I'm going to check out the second one because I like the first one. So that's Machine Gun Kelly, Pretty Toxic Revolver. I definitely say go check that joint out. And in 1 second, I will tell you who produced it. It was produced by Baz X and Slim X. And it's going to be on an album called Lockdown Sessions. So, yeah, go out on the balcony, take the mic, make some songs. Corona.
Corona. I'm sorry. The way you said that was just funny. Okay, and last but not least, apparently there is a posthumous album coming by the Jacka, who is, a pioneer, pretty big figure in the Bay Area. He was murdered in a shooting in East Oakland in 2015 at the age of 37. And I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, that's the artist. Was that the artist that people were like saying that Drake bit off of him when he dropped YOLO? Or was that somebody else?
I'm not sure.
Well, in any case, they're dropping a new album by the Jackets called Murder Weapon, and they released the first single from it. It's called Cherish Me. It features Dub 20 and Street Knowledge, who are artists signed to the Jackets label, which is still operating 5 years after his death.
That's pretty good that it's still operating.
Yeah, hell yeah. And that they're giving people an opportunity, or they're giving his artists an opportunity or whatever, to be featured on there. So y'all go check out Cherish Me. And then, look, we gonna be 100% honest. Bay Area music ain't always for everybody. Bay Area people make music for Bay Area people.
Like DC.
Like a lot of places, it's a couple of cities that manage to kind of get around that, but for the most part,
I think those are probably the two most unique, and they have a similar attitude. Like, we don't give a shit what y'all think. So hyphy and go-go.
Hyphy and go-go. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm wrong about this YOLO thing. I feel like it was somebody else. It was Mac Dre. That's what it was.
There you go.
Yes. But in any case, I knew enough to know that the jacket was important, and y'all should go and check that shit out. So do that. And Tink dropped another song too, and it was forgettable enough for us to forget to mention it during our little R&B run. So
she looked nice in the video, though. I don't even know if it was forgettable. Well, yeah. I mean, I only listened to it once. I like Tink. I like what she's doing. I just wish she had a bigger audience. That's all. I'm just sad because Tink is such a talent, and she deserved better.
Agreed. All right, you guys. Again, this would have been a great opportunity for us to talk about some fly shit that one of y'all was doing. Had one of y'all hit us up and cut a check so that we could tell the world about what you got going on. And we're kind people. We understand all that's going on right now. So, if you have something and your budget has been coronarized, I don't know that we have a
19
COVID. If your money's funny, holler at us. We might be able to help you out anyway. So this is the fun part of the program where we talk about what's coming out next week. And this week, tomorrow, a lot better looking for releases than last week was, because last week was a struggle, y'all.
A whole struggle. We got Burner and Be Real putting out a project.
Ooh.
The Baby is back.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah, The Baby is back. We're blaming on Baby. We got David Bowie.
Keep going down this list. I'm about to figure out what this David Bowie is.
We got Division, Fiona Apple, Fredo Bang.
Wait, Fiona Apple?
Yeah.
Oh, what is going on with these artists making comebacks this year?
They ain't got nothing else to do. Oh, here's another one for your throwback bag. R.A. the Rugged Man.
I thought that was out already.
All My Heroes Are Dead. No, it comes out tomorrow. Tech Nine is back.
What the hell year is this?
Yeah, West Side Gun. It's his turn. Pray for Paris. And yeah.
That's it? I was like, oh, this week is popping, y'all. I lied, you guys.
It's a little better than it was the week before.
Do you feel like we're gonna dry up? Like releases are just gonna stop?
I feel like everybody heard that music was slowing down, so they slowed down. But now that we got new information that it's picking back up, people are going to pick back up. So there had to be a lull. There had to be downtime, right? But it's a lot of people. What else do they have to do right now?
But record music, right?
Record music, right? So yeah, I expect some stuff to start popping, and then you're always gonna have those guys who, just drop out of nowhere. So we'll see. But next week looks a little bit more. Wiley might finally put that album out that we've
I'm
been
here
talking
for
about since last year,
it. Mm-hmm.
and Kali Uchis is coming out, so I'm here for that. So.
Okay, so this David Bowie project was a 9-track, mostly acoustic session, which was recorded in 1996 in New York during rehearsals for Bowie's 50th birthday concert at Madison Square Garden. And it is being released in limited quantities on LP and CD for Record Store Day, which is April 18th, 2020. Very interesting that I haven't heard anybody talking about, and maybe I'm just not seeing shit because I'm just been off the internet in a very strange way because I spend my whole entire day on the internet, but I'm not on social media like that. But this Friday is Record Store Day.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, Saturday. Saturday is Record Store Day. We cannot go to the stores, obviously. There is a Record Store Day website, and what they said is that we've decided that the best of all possible moves is to change the date of Record Store Day to Saturday, June 20th. We think this gives stores around the world the best chance to have a profitable, successful Record Store Day while taking into consideration the recommendations of doctors, scientists, the World Health Organization, Centers for Disease Control, and the need to be good citizens of both local and worldwide communities. So there you go. The David Bowie project was supposed to drop on Record Store Day. It is still dropping on Friday, but Record Store Day will now happen in June.
So hopefully it'll drop on digital formats like everything else.
Theoretically, that's what should happen, right? So we have another battle to look forward to this week. Is that what you said?
Teddy Riley and Babyface.
Babyface had coronavirus.
He did, and he recovered on the low, and we ain't even know. And his whole family had it. So,
is Teddy going to show up this time?
I think Babyface was the one who had coronavirus.
No, Babyface had coronavirus, but Teddy Riley was the one that said he wasn't coming through unless they were going to come through with the 1-2 checker.
Right. Teddy said, "I'm not coming through with this whack ass sound." So,
but they made it seem like he was saying, "Come to my platform."
Like Verzuz has a website and they have an official flyer. So it's a really dope picture of Michael Jackson and Prince, and it looks like the tunnel of a Lakers game or a major fight or something. Magic Johnson in a fur coat, like it's luxurious. But it's the official flyer for that battle. So looks like it's happening.
What day?
I want to say Sunday. Let me see. I just posted it in the iStandard Slack, which you guys should all be a member of. Go to iStandardProducers.com and join the creator Slack. It is Saturday, 4/18 at 9 p.m. Eastern. Teddy Riley versus Kenny Edmonds.
I'm going to go borrow my nephew's Beats headphones and see what that does for my life.
I hope they do something for your life on their end. So
on the audio end, right?
I mean, I really think these guys ain't playing around. They'll figure it out. I got hope. If they can't do it, then I'm giving up. I'm Paul Twisby's myself. Like, listen, bro, I got the solution. Just hear me out.
Yo, but at the same time, while Just Blaze is over there getting his stuff together, he's created, what is he calling it? He's calling it the something lounge, Karma Lounge, something like that. And just has just a bunch of toys at his house any fucking way. So he just went and built out some shit, and I'm sure it sounds amazing. I haven't tuned in yet, but was it Binks last week that was calling people to the mat?
Oh Lord, I was hoping we didn't have to talk about this.
Okay, well let's not. We don't have to.
No. So a lot of people got called to the mat. You know who else got called to the mat? 50 Cent.
Yo, so let's talk about that real quick then. Let's get to that. People are saying, and people really believe that Ja Rule has more hits than 50 Cent. I feel like 50's run was a little longer.
I feel like, so, okay. 50 had, if you give 50 the G Unit hits, like the record he did with like Hate It or Love It, like those aren't officially 50 records. I Hate It or Love It is Games record, it's Games album. But if we just go, Get Rich or Die Trying, if we just go The Massacre, and we go Curtis, which are his 3 albums that really did well, I'd say he had maybe 2 to 3 singles per album, right? Ja had a comparable number of hits during his Murder Inc. run. Even if you go back to you go back to
Holla Holla.
What I would say is the music industry was different when Ja Rule was coming up, right? And I just mean in terms of sheer sales, right? In terms of commercial, like Ja came out in '94, right? Where rap was like mainstream commercial. 50 enjoyed the Jay-Z effect.
Okay, that's fair.
Came up, the Biggie, Jay-Z.
Well, no, because Holla Holla came out the same year as Volume 3.
That was 99, right? That was 99.
So way later. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So 50 came a little bit later, where the rap music as a whole was just selling better.
Okay.
But Murder Inc. did mad numbers with, Pain is Love. Pain is Love sold like 9 million records worldwide. You know what I'm saying? He had a bunch of joints on there, When I Cry, You Cry, and, Always on Time, and all kind of joints. So
now I will say this. When I went and looked at their discographies, I definitely saw things on here that I forgot, right? Because I wasn't Ja Rule's target demo. Now, in terms of the timeline, it feels like their timelines were different, but they really were not. So, Ja.
Well, they were, because Ja.
Those first 3 years, he had a lot of things going on in those first 3 years.
So Ja came in with the Cash Money clique, right? And Mike Geronimo and all those guys, like that was a whole different era. 50 was probably not even thought of in that era. And then you had the Murder Inc. initial era, where Ja was in the group with DMX and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So you had that era, which is like the mid to late 90s. 50 didn't pop up until 2000.
Yeah, did you know I Get Money was not a top 10 record? Nuts. I can't even look at it.
Because the other thing is, rap records weren't regularly top 10. They were top, like, if we talk about top 10.
Got a gang of them, though. 50 got a gang of them.
Yeah, but when we talked about top 10, a lot of those records were like street records, and they were like top rap hits.
Okay, but 50 has top, like, Billboard top records. Like, In the Club was number 1, 21 Question was number 1, PIMP was number 3, Disco Inferno was number 3, Candy Shop was number 1, Just a Little Bit was number 3. AO Technology, obviously he cheated and put Justin Timberlake on a song, so that was going to do what it was going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was in the top 5s like 5 or 6 times. He was in the top 10, including those 5 or 6 right there, like maybe 7 times. He got a couple more that cracked that top 20. His run is looking.
Ja's got I'm Real with J-Lo. He's got Put It On Me, which was his record, which was number 8. He got Always on Time, which peaked at number 1. He's got Ain't It Funny. He's got Living It Up, which peaked at number 6. He's got Down For You, which peaked at number 6. Mesmerized, which was number 2. Wonderful, which was number 5. Rainy Days, which was 12. Holla
Why
Holla.
records on his Wikipedia?
Between Me and You, like Between Me and You, with him and Christina Milian, that peaked at 11. Like, Down Ass Chick. These are all top 50. Like, he's got a lot of top 50 hits. A lot. New York, Clapback. Like, all these joints charted high. And I'm talking about from 99 to 2008. He was charting. Because he was also on Can I Get Her? You know what I'm saying? With Jay.
Right.
So, I think the thing is, most people want that to be a battle. Like, they want it to be 50 smash Ja Rule, which we all know happened. He destroyed him. But if we go record for record, people forget. And I'm not a big
a lot of these Ja Rule records, yeah.
I'm not a big I'll say this. I am a fan of Ja Rule's work. I've always been a fan of Ja Rule's music over the years. Like, when he was rapping with DMX and Jay-Z. I've been a big fan of him. I was a fan of the Murderers. I was a fan of a lot of the things he did. I might not be the biggest fan of him, thanks 50, just because of where I'm from and the way what 50 did. That's like this new generation. That's how they know him. But he gave us hits. He gave us club joints. He gave us street shit. Like, Ja did it all before I knew who 50 Cent was. And I can appreciate if you put discography against discography and not make it about the battle or the dislike. If we literally just put Ja Rule and his songs up to 50 Cent songs, I think Ja Rule can hang with him. I'm not going to say Ja Rule would win. I'm not going to say 50 would win. I'm a big 50 fan, but I think a lot of people forget Ja Rule's work.
Right. But no, because people are actually saying the opposite. People are actually saying that they feel like Ja got bigger records. So
because he had all them R&B, singy, like, hook joints with, like, J-Lo and Ashanti and Christina Milian, when they were popping, and the joint with Case, and he made them bop records.
The only way that battle can happen, them niggas gotta designate 2 DJs to play their records for them. Because if you put Jeffrey Atkins in an IG Live with 50 Cent, it's not going to be about the music, and it's going to be super disrespectful. Bottom line.
If I was Ja Rule, I would bring Cameron.
Are they cool like that?
I don't know, but in the history,
he got to bring Irv.
See, the reason why I say bring Cameron is because in the history of all 50's beefs, the only person he could not out-talk was Cameron. Yeah. Curtis! Like, that was the only person who he didn't get the one-up on. And I just felt like it would be funny if he had Cameron sitting there with him, because I don't want it to be about the beef.
It's gonna be. There's no way.
But this is also why I think 50 don't want to do it, because he knows Ja got big records, and he don't want to give him that relevancy and bring back. Ja's out here touring. Him and Ashanti, they selling out decent sized venues. Playing records, so they got joints. It's not a question. I want to see Ja Rule's music not forgotten as a fan of music. So that's why I want it to happen.
I'm going to go play back down now. Anyway, you guys, that is our time times 2. We went all out for you guys this week. Again, this is the Chopping Block Podcast. We are available on all of your podcasting platforms every Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I forgot what that was called for a second, because I'm clearly never going to LA again.
Specific, also.
Specifically Pacific. Yeah, so we're on all of your platforms and all that good stuff. And you can follow us on social media. We are at the Chop Block Pod on everything, the Chop Block Pod on everything except for Instagram, where we are simply Chop Block Pod. If you are interested in advertising, or if you would like to send us some information about a release, do not send us music by unsigned artists. Don't send us music to check out. Send us some shit that's about to actually be released, and we can do something with that.
Send us some credits. Send us some information. Send us a package.
We do interviews.
Yeah.
And all that stuff can go to thechopblockpod@gmail.com. And he is at, oh wait, we forgot to shout out Mikey. Shout out Mikey.
Big shout out to Puerto Rican Mikey.
AKA Anatomē, trying to help us figure out how to get the sound pristine for you guys. Man. And he is at Scissor215 on all of your social media platforms.
She's at Saint Boogie on everything, except for Facebook, because you might have found her if you put in Tai Boogie.
Anyway, right. And we'll be back next week. We will try to keep it to less than 2 hours next week. But hey, give us feedback. Tweet at us. Tell us what you liked. And again, I'm going to repeat it now in case you didn't listen to part 1. There was a trivia question on part 1. There you go. That's how I make y'all listen. There was a trivia question on part 1. If you can answer that question, you DM me at Saint Boogie. DM me the answer at Saint Boogie on Instagram, and I will cash app you some coins for a drink. Because I feel generous. Happy stimulus week, y'all.
Nice. All right, y'all.
We out.
Peace.